Welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I am Rainbow.
And today we are beginning a 2-day article about Rainbow's favorite thing, sinkholes.
Oh, that's a good question, actually. I actually have no idea what a sinkhole is.
So maybe I was joking when I said it's your favorite thing. I don't know anyone who would say their favorite things are sinkholes, but maybe there's a geologist out there who would love sinkholes. Maybe this person does have a very big interest in sinkholes.
So this is a hole that's at the bottom of the sink that goes into the ocean?
No, it's a bit more of a sink as a verb and not as a noun. You're right, that small basin of water in your bathroom or kitchen.
Right.
We call that the sink. You might
Yes.
wash your hands in the sink, wash your vegetables in the kitchen sink. But no, when we use sink as a verb, it means to go down or to suddenly drop.
Okay.
Something like that. So a sinkhole is more like something we see happening on the surface of the earth when the ground, you know, that hard stuff that we like walk around on and build roads on and put houses on, that ground suddenly decides to just disappear, and whatever is on top of that ground, a house, a road, a tree, a person, hopefully not, will suddenly sink. It will suddenly disappear. Now, if you know anything about rocks and how water especially can affect rocks, if you know anything about how caves are made under the ground and that type of thing, then you'll be in the right area to understand sinkholes. But it doesn't matter if you do understand them a little bit, a lot, or not at all. We will all learn more about sinkholes in our deep dive. We're diving deep, you get it? We're also learning a lot about sinkholes, and they will soon be your favorite thing.
Let's learn together.
No doubt. Yeah, let's find out.
Imagine you're playing outside your home when suddenly half of the yard disappears into the earth. All that's left is a deep hole. This is a sinkhole, one of nature's most mysterious phenomena. Although sinkholes appear to open up in the blink of an eye, they are actually the end result of processes that can take thousands of years.
All right, let's take a look at today's article. It's called A Deep Dive into Sinkholes, Part 1. Imagine you're playing outside your home when suddenly half of the yard disappears into the earth. All that's left is a deep hole. This is a sinkhole, one of nature's most mysterious phenomena. I would be very scared if that happened and I wouldn't know what to do.
Well, this is a sinkhole. It's also the beginning of a Hollywood disaster movie.
Oh, yeah.
I would say the first thing to do is yell, help! That's probably
911.
the first thing to do. If you're in a deep hole, all of a sudden yell help and then go, what is this strange phenomenon that I am experiencing? A phenomenon is basically something that happens that is probably really, really unusual or strange or crazy or even unbelievable. We might talk about natural phenomenon that are basically things that do happen in nature, but not very often. An eclipse of the sun or the moon is one of the most amazing phenomenon that we can see. And of course, things like tornadoes or ball lightning. Yeah, there's lightning shaped like a ball. It's a very unusual phenomenon. So often when we see something, especially something in nature that is unusual and almost unbelievable, but probably science can explain it, but it is very strange, we can call that a phenomenon. And by the way, we could say phenomena for the plural. We don't say phenomenons, we would say phenomena. For example, typhoons are one of the most dangerous natural phenomena, along with earthquakes and volcanoes and things like that. All right, back to the article. Although sinkholes appear to open up in the blink of an eye, meaning very quickly, they are actually the end result of processes that can take thousands of years. So yes, the ground might suddenly collapse in the same way that the earth might suddenly move because of an earthquake, but actually this process has been going on slowly under the ground, away from our eyes, for a very, very long time. But of course, when the ground suddenly sinks, it feels like it just happened. And in a way, it did.
It's a long process in the making, and a process is something that has steps to it. So it's not something you can do just once. It's something that has step 1, step 2, maybe 3 years later, step 3, step 4. Everything in life actually has a process. For example, when we cook something, we have to follow a certain order of events. We have to chop this, we have to put this in the pan, we have to fry this, and we have to prepare it by steps. A sentence for you, making cheese from milk is a long process. It takes a lot of time, probably it's very difficult, and maybe normal people would not have the chance or the patience to go through with it because it has many different steps and it's very complicated. All right, so let's take a very quick break right now, and then we'll be right back to learn about this very cool and strange phenomena called sinkholes.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。在这2天的课程中，我们要跟着课文来揭开天坑的神秘面纱。课文一开始要我们想象一下，人在屋外玩耍的时候，突然一半的院子消失到地底下，剩下一个很深的坑洞，这就是天坑。它是自然界里面最神秘的现象之一。那尽管天坑看起来好像是一瞬间就裂开了，但它们其实可能是需要经过数千年的过程才会形成的结果。我们看单字 phenomenon 它表示现象。那注意它的复数形是把字尾的 on 改成 a 变成 phenomena。那么 Mike 老师在讲到一些奇怪的自然现象时，有提到日食、龙卷风啊、球状的闪电、长得像飞碟的云等等。那补充一下老师说的 eclipse eclipse 它表示日食或是月食。老师还有用到形容词 weird weird 它是形容奇怪的、怪异的。下一个单字 process 它表示过程、步骤或者是进程、变化过程。Rainbow 老师有提到 a long process in the making。那我们学一下这个用语 in the making， 它可以表达费时多久完成，制作时间长达多久这样。好，那这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。这边我们来学习 appear 当连缀动词的时候，表示看起来、显得或是似乎，就跟 seem 意思用法相同。句型是 appear to 加原形动词，或者是 appear to be 加上形容词或名词 to be 可以省略。那我们看2个例句。Everyone appeared to have a good time at the party. 大家似乎在派对上玩得很开心。The man appeared nervous and suspicious. 那名男子看起来很紧张又很可疑。好，接回课文中。
To understand these processes, we have to look at the ground beneath our feet. The earth is made up of different layers at different depths and in different areas. Some of these layers consist of limestone, which is full of little holes. Others are made up of things like salt deposits. These substances are all easily dissolved when water runs through them. When this happens, these limestone and salt layers slowly disappear until the surface layer has nothing below to support it. The surface then collapses into the earth, creating a sinkhole. However, not all sinkholes are the fault of nature. The construction of underground tunnels, mining, and water supply systems have all been known to cause sinkholes too. In fact, a sinkhole that opened up in Taipei in July 2023 was deemed to be the result of a broken underground sewerage pipe.
All right, so we know that sinkholes are a very unusual phenomena of nature, of the earth that we all live on. But what exactly is happening to make the earth suddenly sink or just fall away, disappear from beneath our feet to make buildings suddenly drop down into the ground. What is going on? It says to understand these processes, we have to look at the ground beneath our feet. Yes, of course, it's the ground beneath our feet, and really what is happening beneath the ground, beneath our feet, that is causing these sinkholes to happen. It says the earth is made up of different layers at different depths and in different areas. Now, I'm sure most of you have taken a science class where you've gotten one of those pictures. It looks like the earth has been cut in half like an orange or an apple, and you can see that around the outside, as you get in closer, there are many different layers, kind of like if we cut a tree through the middle. There are all those different circles, and they all have different materials in them. They're at different depths, different temperatures. And so basically, the earth, even though it feels hard and solid beneath our feet, is far from being hard and solid. The deeper you go, the more interesting and unusual things you find down there.
Some of these layers consist of limestone, which is full of little holes. Others are made up of things like salt deposits. These substances are all easily dissolved when water runs through them. So imagine there's a flood, a typhoon, a lot of rain. What happens to the ground? It's starting to fall apart underneath, which is really scary because we've got buildings and people and cars and roads and everything. And all of this is just falling inwards.
Exactly right. As anyone who has ever mixed salt into some water or sugar or something like that, it could be a solid thing like salt, but it turns into, well, it doesn't turn into water, it dissolves, it disappears, it gets sort of washed away by the water very easily. So these substances beneath our feet are soft, hard, or a combination. When we talk about a substance, it's really just something that things are made of. It's kind of a very general term. If you don't know what it is, or you're watching a science fiction movie and they're on another planet and they find something that's green and glowing with this weird color.
Slimy.
One scientist would say, "What is this substance, Jim?" And the other one would say, "I don't know, Don. Let's take it back to the lab and find out." They don't know what it is. It could be wood, it could be water, it could be plastic, it could be gold. These are all substances. Now, we have names for those, but when we talk about them as a category or in a way where the exact name isn't really important, then we can use a word like substance. Plastic, for example, is a very useful, cheap, and strong substance that we make many things of in our world. There's an example. Here's another one. Ooh, this is a weird substance. Chewing gum is a very sticky substance.
It's very strange.
Don't get it in your hair. And yeah, what is it made of? That's a good question.
Ugh, a natural thing.
We put that substance in our mouth.
Yuck.
Happily. Interesting. Anyways, let's go back to the article.
When this happens, you know, the process of rain and all these substances mixing together, these limestone and salt layers slowly disappear until the surface layer has nothing below to support it. We don't see this coming. The surface then collapses into the earth, creating a sinkhole. So actually, it's a slow process of collapse. Collapse means suddenly falling down, falling apart, falling to the ground, or breaking to the ground. So imagine if you had this game where you have all these bricks and then suddenly somebody pushes something or does something wrong and everything just falls down. That means it's collapsing, falling down. And sometimes during typhoons, buildings collapse, trees collapse. This is very, very dangerous. I have a sentence for you. The chair collapsed when I sat down on it. That probably means it was already kind of broken because things that collapse probably have been falling apart for a long time.
All right, so because of water kind of moving under the surface of the earth, maybe an underground river, maybe because of rain, which gets into that soft rock and eats away at it until suddenly the surface collapses. Now this, of course, is a thing that happens in nature. As I mentioned, it's also how caves are created in a very similar way. So that does happen. And, sometimes there would be sinkholes in mountain areas that we would never even notice. But the other ones are the ones that happen around where people live, and they can happen because of what people have been doing to create the sinkholes. It says, however, not all sinkholes are the fault of nature. The construction of underground tunnels like MRTs or road tunnels, train tunnels. Mining, of course, we dig under the ground for valuable things like gold or coal or oil. We do that under the ground, and water supply systems. We have underground rivers, underground water reservoirs, and pipes have all been known to cause sinkholes too. Basically, people digging under the ground makes the ground not so strong. It's not very complicated. Construction, though, is when people are building things. Anything that people have created using materials around them, and engineering and science put that all together, you have construction, and that's why we have buildings of all shapes and sizes. For example, Dubai has many expensive construction projects. It does,
Very fancy place. In fact, says the article, a sinkhole that opened up in Taipei in July 2023 was deemed to be the result of a broken underground sewerage pipe.
Yep.
Exactly what Mike said. Oh, that's very scary.
That is true. And of course, they've been fixing it. So the next time you have workers in your street digging it up for a few weeks, putting in new pipes, yes, it might be trouble. You might have to park your car or your motorcycle somewhere
really
else.
Bad.
It might smell bad, but it will stop the street from collapsing and swallowing you into the center of the earth.
That's very important.
So that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, let's be careful of sinkholes, and if you see any pictures of them in the news, check them out because they're cool. We're going to be back with more tomorrow. See you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
那我们来看看天坑是如何形成的。课文写到说，地球是由不同深度和不同区域的不同地层所组成。那么其中一些地层呢，是由石灰岩组成，充满了小孔。那有一些则是由盐矿床等等的物质来组成。当水流过这些物质的时候，这些物质都很容易溶解。当这种情况发生时，那这些石灰岩和岩层就会慢慢消失，直到表层下方没有任何东西支撑，然后呢，地表塌陷到地下，就形成了天坑了。然而，并不是所有天坑都是大自然的错，像新建地下隧道啊、采矿啊、供水系统等等，都有可能会造成天坑。事实上，2023年7月在台北出现的天坑就被认为是地下污水管破裂所造成的。我们看单字 substance 它表示物质、东西。那有一些物质可能摸起来黏黏滑滑的。Rainbow 老师这时候用到一个形容词叫 slimy， S-L-I-M-Y，slimy 是形容黏滑的、黏糊糊的。下一个单字 collapse， 它是动词，表示倒塌、塌下或者是崩溃、瓦解的意思。那么 construction 它是名词，表示建筑、建造或是构建。在讲到供水系统的时候 ，Mike 老师有用到 reservoir 这个字 ，R-E-S-E-R-V-O-I-R，reservoir 它表示水库或是蓄水池。那这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。这边要介绍的是 some others 用来列举没有限定范围的人事物。那么 some 和 other 也可以当作形容词，这时候用法会是 some 名词other 名词那为了避免重复名词，这个 other 加名词呢，也常常会用代名词 others 来代替。举例来说 ，Some people like summer。Others prefer winter. 有些人喜欢夏天，有些人比较喜欢冬天。这时候我们就是用 others 来取代 other people， 避免重复。好，那比较一个用法是，如果只有两种类别，那必须加上定冠词，这时候写作 some the others 来表达有些怎么样，其他的则是怎么样。例如 Some of the books are in Chinese, the others are in English.有些书是中文的，那么其他的是英文的。好，以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Imagine you're playing outside your home when suddenly half of the yard disappears into the earth. All that's left is a deep hole. This is a sinkhole, one of nature's most mysterious phenomena. Although sinkholes appear to open up in the blink of an eye, they are actually the end result of processes that can take thousands of years. To understand these processes, we have to look at the ground beneath our feet. The earth is made up of different layers at different depths and in different areas. Some of these layers consist of limestone, which is full of little holes. Others are made up of things like salt deposits. These substances are all easily dissolved when water runs through them. When this happens, these limestone and salt layers slowly disappear until the surface layer has nothing below to support it. The surface then collapses into the earth, creating a sinkhole. However, not all sinkholes are the fault of nature. The construction of underground tunnels, mining, and water supply systems have all been known to cause sinkholes too. In fact, a sinkhole that opened up in Taipei in July 2023 was deemed to be the result of a broken underground sewerage pipe.
Here's how to play. The host will be holding 3 cards. Each card will have 2 sentences containing a secret vocabulary word or phrase that has been replaced by the word bear. The host will read the sentences out loud for the contestants to guess. Whoever guesses first gets a point. The person with the most points wins. And you can play along too.
Hi everybody, let's play Guess the Bear. I'm Carolyn.
And I'm Josh.
I'm Toy.
All right, are you both ready to play?
Yeah.
I'm fired up.
Okay, great.
Let's do it.
The first one is a noun and it's one word. We were all nervous to receive our test bears. His success is the bear of years of hard work.
Result.
Yes. All right, let's hear the sentences. We were all nervous to receive our test results. His success is the result of years of hard work. All right, second one is a preposition and it's one word.
Yeah, right. It's a preposition.
Everyone did their homework, bear Cindy. Mary loves all subjects, bear history.
But, although, instead.
Is.
I'll read the sentences one more time.
Yes.
Everyone did their homework, bear Cindy. Mary loves all subjects, bear history.
Except.
Yes, that's correct. Everyone did their homework except Cindy. Mary loves all subjects except history.
See, I was dancing around it.
All right, 1 and 1. Okay, and the last one is a phrase. It's 2 words. It's nice to bear with old friends. She bared bear on work after returning from vacation.
Catch up.
Yes, and past tense, caught up. Okay, it's nice to catch up with old friends. She caught up on work after returning from vacation. All right, so you are the winner for this
Thank
one,
you
right?
so
I think so.
much.
Yeah. You got one in there too.
It's a new feeling, though, and I enjoy it.